How do you get the club gig? So you get booked for Conan, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And that's genuinely bigger than any TV, or is it the first TV break you've had?
Yeah, it's the
and
first
it's in LA. It's in fucking Hollywood.
In Hollywood, like it's opposite the Friends stage. So you walk you walk out one side of the Conan studio, and up the right is the Pink Floyd "Wish You Were Here" album cover where they shot that, and then up the other end of the street is the Friends fountain.
My God,
where they shot that. So you're like, it's proper, like pick you up in a limo, and you're like filming it in Warner Brothers in a fucking Hollywood studio. My agent was like, don't get used to this. I was in my own dressing room with like a buffet, and they gave me a popcorn bucket with my name on it and stuff. He was like, yeah.
Did you steal that?
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah. I didn't steal it. They gave it to me as a gift, and they gave me all these Conan.
That's my instinct. I won't get to keep this.
And it was like,
where's the Pink Floyd thing gone?
Waiting for the next guy.
Adam just walks in, emptying everything into his bag. Like, are you good to do the? Oh yeah, the set. Yeah, just casing the joint.
That guy's a club comic. You can tell. How did you get the club gigs? Do they sort of book you for Conan and then go, you'll want to like test the set out? Do they book you at the club gigs around LA? Yeah,
so they did a couple, and my agent did a couple, and then it's basically like if you like recording it, I can't remember, it was on a Tuesday or something, but they basically call up and go, he's doing late night on a Tuesday, and they go, yeah, and they put you on for 5 minutes.
So where did you play? Just like the American circuit geek in me would love to know, where did you play in LA?
A little place called the Comedy Store.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. The Improv, and there was a really good show called Hot Tub, which is Christian Schall from Bob's Burgers. It's her show. That was fun, and then a couple of other places that I can't remember because it was 2 years ago.
But
how was it? So go on.
What is really interesting about your Conan set?
Yeah,
is that they made you learn Mandarin.
They did make me learn Mandarin for the set. Yeah, so I was telling a true story about a friend of mine who came over to stay with me with his Chinese fiance, and she spoke Mandarin. I didn't. He speaks Mandarin, and they were having a conversation in my kitchen where the only word I could hear was barbecue. So I basically, in the Edinburgh show, I did the act out, and I just did it doing a Chinese voice because basically I ran out. I was going to learn Mandarin, and I ran out of time. So I had a joke basically going, I looked into learning it, but like it wasn't worth it for £7 a ticket. It was like when I tour this, I'll learn it when people are coming and they pay proper money. But for scum like you just get me just doing it.
So you made Chinese noises, and then threw in a few barbecues,
for about 6 minutes.
And then due to that is our podcast in a lot of ways.
And if you want to see, the Conan set is on YouTube, where I've learnt the Mandarin, which was quite difficult because I'm not much of a linguist. But because of COVID, the show that routine was from was going to be released. We were going to record it on the tour, but we only got to do one night of the tour. And I had a recording of it in Edinburgh, which then got put out by £800 Guerrilla Records, which you can get on Spotify, Apple Music, whatnot. So if you want to hear... That's Smile, yeah. And if you want to hear me just going... That's actually been released on an album.
And now we've had it again,
it's already been on like Sirius, so it's fine. It's fine. I make a couple of sort of qualifying statements before, but yeah, they were.
Mate, if one of our listeners were like, right, that's too far for me, I'd be really disappointed.
Well, that's the thing. I said, so the producer saw it and was like, okay, can you to do it on TV? Can you learn the Mandarin? I was like, yeah, no problem. And then they called up like a couple of weeks before and was like, has he learnt it? And I had. Just like going through Google Translate, because they were very, very touchy, because it was around the time of the SNL thing. And the producer actually had to say to Conan, was like, he's going to do this thing, but like, don't flip out. Like, don't run on and be like, no. There's a payoff to it, and it is actually Mandarin speaking. But then I got to sort of change the thing by basically telling them that I had been asked to learn Mandarin. And I sort of said, like, I don't think Chinese people will care. And they were like, no, not Chinese people, like woke white liberals would care. So I was like, so I've got to spend 3 months learning Mandarin so I don't upset other white people when I tell them a true story, which is based on the fact neither I nor they can understand what on earth is being said, with the exception of barbecue. That's the whole point. And they were like, yeah, basically. I was like, cool, I'll get on and learn Mandarin.
Did you learn any other Mandarin other than the words you needed?
No, just the words I needed. Well,
I've got a taste for this.
Yeah. No, I was like, I'm going to go to China to try out my Mandarin, and then the whole thing happened.
I thought it might be like Chinese food, where you have a little bit, and then an hour later you're desperate for more.
No. I went on Google Translate, and I put it on big posters on the wall, and I learnt it phonetically. And it was basically, I asked a couple of people like before I did it, and I was like,
wasn't that just big symbols you don't understand?
No. You can write it out sort of English-wise.
Phonetically.
Yeah, phonetically, indeed.
He didn't write just the big... He didn't write the Mandarin in massive letters. Like, I don't understand Chinese. Maybe it's not big enough. How are you with Mandarin, Garrett? Not great if it's in a book, but if it's graffiti on a wall.
How the fuck do you pronounce the Stonehenge one?
That is fucking great.
I had to ask someone like a week before. I was like, is it any good? Somebody can speak Mandarin. And they were like, no, it's terrible, but you can tell that you've put a certain amount of effort in. And I was like, that's all I need. To say, did he actually do that? Yeah, he did. But I guess it's a fair deal.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. As I said, I got to go to Disneyland. Flown over. They were like, look, you just have to spend 3 months learning very specific phrases in Mandarin which have no application to your life.
Did the bit rip?
What do you mean rip?
I mean, did it go well? The bit was it?
Yeah. It went well. It was kind of a nice experience because the audience had been very difficult all night. So it was like, okay. So I went out. So I really had to like get them. But by the end, they were applauding and stuff.
Oh, I love it.
Which was great because then Conan asked me to come back and he cut some of his monologue to air more of my set because I'm going to put like 6 minutes of it on YouTube and 4 minutes of it on. And he said, cut my monologue and put the whole thing out. And then they said, come back. And I was like, great. So I was going to do it again. And then this
fucking COVID.
And then the show just
the show stopped. Yeah. So, that's great. That's money in the bank.
Is Conan done?
Yeah, he's going to be on Netflix or Amazon or something in a couple of years. Is it CBS?
TBS, yeah.
Like that show is done.
Yeah.
Wow.
My favourite thing about it though, which we spoke about last week, is because that routine has got a certain amount of. The first few times you do it, you're not going to be. The first time he did the routine that he did on Conan, I was there. It was at Hot Water, and he's in the green room.
I wasn't going to do it, and you were like, it's great.
Because he told me in the dressing room, and I was like, that is fucking hilarious. And there was another comic as well. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
And they were like, you've got to do it. And he went on stage at Hot Water, a sold out Hot Water, and did it. And it got the sum total of fuck all.
No.
And he was like, you fucking asshole. I was like, no, I swear to God, that's going to work.
No, it wasn't fuck all, to be fair. There was quite a lot of anger and confusion.
From a Hot Water crowd.
Yeah, going out Saturday night.
But it's a routine that you've got to have confidence in, isn't it? It's if you're talking about the nerdiness of stand-up, like there's bits that if you don't own and be like, this is what happened, then I'm okay with it. An audience can
Nugget McChuckins, when I didn't know how to tell that story about me getting thrown out of McDonald's for shouting Nugget McChuckins because someone mispronounced Chicken McNuggets.
Right.
I died quite a lot. You know, when some promoters
a group
like,
of people who don't know what they think about.
A couple of promoters like, what was that? And you're like, I know that went wrong, but I'm sure in my heart that that's a funny bit. And you can tell they were like, right, because you've ruined that set, haven't you? Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure this is the funniest story I've ever had. And when it unlocks, it's because it's worth its risk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the risk.
The risk reward thing. Like, it is worth it. You've just got to get through some choppy waters to get there.
With the Chinese voice version of it, I think it was one of those things where you'd start doing it and everybody would just go, what the fuck? And then like a minute in, they were like, yeah, okay. They got over their own...
were you doing an accent?
It now.
Oh, yeah.
What accent did you choose?
Generic, offensive Chinese accent.
What do you mean?
Completely poorly.
He was doing Chinese noises in a Birmingham accent.
No, but I mean, like, surely China's got different accents.
Oh, yeah, presumably.
Yeah,
it's massive, yeah.
Did you do Northern China or Southern China?
I did my regional research before I went in and did, if you're going to do the noises, you've got to get them right.
Really? Don't do Southern Chinese, it's really offensive.
Mandarin's a tonal language, though, to be fair to Carl.
Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
It is, yeah.
You can't, no, but what do you know about Mandarin?
I know it's a tonal language.
Oh my God!
Dan,
Get down!
the only reason he knows.
Are you on your phone? What's going on?
No, the only reason because I say so in my routine. That's where he got it from.
It's quite a common. No.
Yeah. Like in China, if they say quavers and then go quavers, they're totally different words.
No, but that's the
Does that happen a lot?
That's the same. Mate, that's the same in English.
No, it's not.
If your mum goes, "Do you want some quavers?" and she goes, "Do you want some quavers?" You'd be like,
No, that still means, "Do you want some quavers?" Doesn't it?
Okay.
In China, that might mean.
I also think
the first one might mean like picture frame, and the second one might mean donkey's arsehole.
Well, I feel like I don't know who I've been podcasting with all this time. Adam, the fucking font of all bullshit on this podcast. Yeah, actually, Mandarin's a tonal language.
Adam, Joe, you got picture frame from the
Jimmy, the rapey dolphin.
You got
Remember
picture
him?
frame from the picture frame next to you.
Yeah.
Where did you get donkey's arsehole
I
from?
was thinking about your man.
Oh, right.
Nice. Again, and that's not tonal, is it? You know? Your man's asshole. Same thing, isn't it?
I love that the tone to you.
hello.
Just more.
It's tonal.
Just more people heard it.
I think it's absolutely. There must be a lot of confusion in China when they're all talking Mandarin, and someone says it's slightly out of tone.
Yeah.
It's more like how like Scottish people use the word cunt.
Yeah.
So if it's like, you wee cunt, it's like that means I'm your friend. Like, you cunt. That means like run away.
Is that how it is?
That's the same word.
So there's not like one word that with a slightly different tone means like tablecloth and murderer.
No.
No.
As far as I understand it, no.
Imagine detectives using that.
We're looking for a cereal tablecloth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
So my mistake. My mistake.
Tablecloth.
Officer, your tone is way off.
So you're wasting our time. Someone's nicked his dining room set. No, they've killed his mother. Oh, that would explain the resources we've funneled at this.
Where? Tablecloth and murderer?
He just looks at things in the room.
He thinks the entire Chinese language is like Matt Damon in Team America. Just
Matt Damon.
Tablecloth. It's been a tablecloth.
Chewbacca. Yeah.
Oh my days.